Caution, this game contains scenes of violence and gore, as well as depictions of criminal acts. These acts are strictly punished by law. Please do not attempt to imitate them. This game also contains themes of sexual violence and self-harm. This game is a work of fiction. Any relationship to real persons, groups, places, or crimes is coincidental.
According to my schedule, today wasn't a school day, but I'd come anyway for one reason, to see Rimi. I was sure my DQing classmates would be making fun of me again. It hurt, but I'd be willing to put up with it if it meant possibly seeing Rimi.
As I walked through the school gate, I remembered my conversation with Senna yesterday. Before we parted ways, Senna said one last thing to me. If you feel like you're going to get more involved with this, whether you want to or not, you need to maintain a strong will, one that can turn negatives into positives. Without that strength, your delusions will devour you. I didn't want to get involved with anything dangerous, so I didn't ask anything more. I knew I wasn't going to get the D sword anyway. No matter how hard I tried, I wasn't a hero. I was just a loser who couldn't even protect his own little sister. But there was a chance that Shogun would come back. He seemed to be coming after me as part of some sort of game, which meant the next quest might start whenever he felt like it. That scared me. The only reason I wanted a D-sword in the first place was because I was so scared of him. How was I supposed to protect myself from him without the sword? Have Rimi stay with me? But Rimi wasn't coming to school, and that worried me. What if he took Rimi hostage like he did Nanami? Wasn't there anybody who could help me? It would have to be somebody who had a D-sword. Ayase was injured, so she was out of the question. And there was no way Senna was going to help me. And Kozupi was a little, no, very strange. I entered the classroom with my head down. I took a single look around the room before I sat down. At first, at Rimi's seat, empty. Was she absent again today? Was she really just not coming to school? Or was something more going on? I wanted to see her again, to see her cheerful face once more. Next, Kozupi. She was sitting in her seat, looking down, making herself as small as possible. I remember what Senna had said yesterday, which more than explained why she acted that way.
Good morning, Takumi.
Morning, Kozuki. We didn't look at each other, but we exchanged greetings in our mind.
The DQN girls were grinning at me.
It had only been a day. The label of creepy otaku loser who made a mess on TV wasn't coming off that quickly. The DQN boys evidently weren't here yet. Those guys would often skip first period. That was more than fine by my ass. I sat down, and then I heard a voice as they called my name.
Taku!
Good morning, Taku. I gasped and looked up. Rimi was standing in front of me. She gave me a little grin and a wave. It's been a while. Rimi? I wasn't imagining her. She really was here. She was breathing. Her hair bounced gently as she moved. She blinked every so often. She really was here. She was here. I felt the need to sniffle coming on. My heart felt like someone was squeezing on it hard. I felt like I was about to cry. I lifted myself up out of my chair, but then stopped, unable to move. I'm so glad I got to see you again. Hey, Taku, what's wrong? Are you crying? I shook my head as hard as I could. If my dehuman classmates saw me crying, they'd make fun of me again. I told myself that I couldn't cry, but the tears just kept coming. Oh, I get it. You're happy to see me again, right? Just kidding. Maybe I'm being a little self-conscious. All I could do was keep shaking my head. I couldn't even look up at her. If I did, I'd start sobbing right on the spot. Then someone slapped me on the back. Hey, Taku. It was Misumi with an awkward expression on his face. He hadn't slapped me nearly as hard as he used to. Just yesterday, he'd been ignoring me. Why was he talking to me again? If he did, it would ruin his life. The DQ in the class would bully him. That's right, both Rimi and Misumi would be better off if they didn't talk to me at all. When I didn't respond, Misumi forced a smile onto his face. Come on, man, it's too early in the morning to look that gloomy. Well, I know that's just the kind of guy you are. He was being as rude as ever, but I didn't feel like he was being mean. That was just how he always talked. And you're way too chipper this morning, Daichin. I'll have you know that I'm just the right amount of chipper, bitch! If that's the first thing you have to say to me after being absent for so fucking long, well, you're really chipper in a fake-ass way, nigga. Hey, Taku, can you believe this, bitch? Yeah. I gave him a vague nod. I'd somehow managed to stop the tears. Life was back to normal, at least in terms of what was in front of me right now. The two of them didn't seem bothered at all by the fact they ended up being bullied by the rest of the class. Hey, did you hear about Kishimoto? Really, nigga? She's still in the hospital. She wasn't hurt, but she's in a bad spot mentally. Listen to me, Taku. If you want to win a girl's heart, the best time to do it is when she's in a vulnerable spot. Those seed beds, all they need is for us to be depressed. And you give them a little dick, and they stay chipped to you forever. That was a joke. I don't actually believe that. And so that's why I'm gonna visit her in the hospital. This nigga is a bum. Daichin, you fucking suck. Boo. Boo. This time your girlfriend's really going to stab you, you know? I'm just gonna visit her in the hospital. It's not like I'm doing anything bad.
That's the opposite of what you were just saying a few seconds ago. Hey, Taku, you talked to Kishimoto, right? You want to come with me? Oh, that sounded like something Misumi would really say. I suppose he was going to ask me about my supposed psychic powers, so I was actually kind of surprised. He kept talking a while after that. Misumi would talk, and Rimi would make smart comments, and I'd just kind of nod along. It was the same as it had been before, and that made me happy. Hey, it's one of the niggas from Nozomi, and he has a... I'm just gonna... I know it's a cigarette, but we're just gonna go ahead and say that that's a blunt. The Nozomi Group, a massive corporate group with tight ties to the government and any number of smaller companies beneath it. Some of these child companies have begun in fields like clothing, foodstuffs, and imports, and gone on to achieve remarkable success. Norose was at the head of the group, and there he was in his castle, looking down at the scenery below him. But his mind was somewhere else. Instead of enjoying the view, there was a mocking smile on his lips, but his feet were tapping impatiently on the floor. It's tiring dealing with those old men. Don't you think they're too cowardly? But I guess you could say that's what got them to their position, but still. It's fine to take advantage of them, but the constant interruptions are becoming a nuisance. And sadly, the influence of the Committee of 300 is impossible to overstate. But soon, that system's gonna collapse. The ruling structure of the world will be rebuilt. Are you looking forward to that? So am I. It's taken a long time to get here. It's already been 5 years since Project Noah began. Norose walked over to his desk. It was a heavy desk made from natural oak with very little on top of it. The few things that were there were business related. There was, however, one object laying on its corner that was very different than the others. Norose picked up the strange green character. He gave it a disinterested glance and tossed it in the wastebasket. Now then, his narrowed eyes returned towards the dimly lit room. The moonlight from the window didn't reach far, and there was a faint sense, however, that someone was present there.
まさか
I certainly didn't
君が
expect
ギ
you
ガロ
to
マ
be
ニ
a
アックスだとは
Gigalomaniac.
思いもよりませんでした。どうやら
It appears that
神
God
すらも
himself is
私
on
の
my
味方
side.
をしてくれているようだ。君のサンプルを取ら
I'm
せても
gonna
らい
take
ま
a
す。
sample from you too.
No.
There's no need to be
怯える
afraid.
必要はありません。私は元医師でした、
I
ね。
used to be a doctor, you see.
インフォームド
I
コン
was
セ
the
ン
type
ト
who
はき
put
ち
a
んと
heavy
しなけれ
emphasis on
ば
informed
気が済
consent.
まないたちなのです。そもそもノア2
You
のハ
should
ードウ
know
ェア
that the
はす
hardware
で
for
に完
Noah
成してい
2
ま
is
す。
already complete.
あ
All
と
that's
必要な
left
の
is the
は
software.
ソフトウェア。そのために
And for that, we need
君たち
samples
ギガ
from
ロ
you
マニアックスのサンプ
Gigalomaniacs.
ルが多く必要なのです。正確に言うならば
More specifically, we
NA
need
シナプ
code
スに関する
samples
コ
from
ードサン
NA
プル
synapses,
脳の
action
働きに
samples,
指
part
令
of
を
the
出す
brain
役
that
割
gives
を果た
orders
し
to
て
the
いる
rest of
部
the
位の
brain.
コードサンプルですよ。コードサンプルには個人
Every
差があり
person's
ま
code
す。
sample is different.
持っている能力が高いギ
Powerful
ガロマニアックスは
Gigalomaniacs have more
NA シナプ
active
スもよ
NA
り活性化し
synapses, which affect a
脳のよ
wider
り広い
area
範
of
囲
the
にわ
brain.
たって効果を及ぼします。人間の脳は
And human brain
全
uses
体の
only
10
10%
分の
of
1
its
しか
full
使われてい
capacity.
ません。
Wrong.
しかし
However, there are exceptions
ギ
to
ガロ
this
マニア
rule.
ックスは違う。残りの10
We
分の
know
9
from
の
our
部位を
research
使
they
っている
use
こ
their
とが
remaining
分かっています。
90% as well.
ギガロマニアック
The
スの
inside of the
頭の中というのは
Gigalomaniac's head is a
実
fascinating
に興味
place.
深い。そのサンプルがノア
Those
2に
samples
とって
will
いわ
serve
ば
as what you
CPU の
might
役割を果
call
たすわけで
Noah
す。
2's CPU.
サンプルが多けれ
The
ば
more
多いほど
samples we have, the
Noah
more
2
Noah
の能
2's
力
power
は
will
本
approximate that
物
of
の
a
ギ
real
ガロマニアックスに
Gigalomaniac.
近づき
Someday we'll
やが
surpass
て
it.
超えるでしょう。納得してもらえました
Does
か？
that satisfy you?
結構。
Good. Notice they nodded, satisfied, and let out a puff of fucking weed as he turned back toward the window.
Seen up close, Shibuya was a vulgar, disgusting shitty. Looking at it only brought him displeasure. But I, he always found it more a pleasant sight. Of course, it wouldn't be sus. Before he says, after his project sus, performance last experiment. Experiment. The world will be reborn soon. Sis. You as twin sister. You as twin sister. You as twin sister. Lunchtime. I always skip lunch. I ate eating by myself in the classroom. I didn't have anyone to eat with. Lately, Remy tried inviting me to eat with her, but I was too embarrassed to say, hell yeah. Whenever lunchtime came around, I would always leave the classroom and escape somewhere more peaceful, like I'm fucking Maya from Ongezelik, sitting in the bathroom, thinking about having friends and killing myself. Sometimes that would be the library, sometimes the courtyard. But ever since what had happened at Oakfront, the whole school knew my face. There was no place left where I could relax. I could feel them staring at me. I could hear their laughter and insults, like I did every other day. I walked around the whole school and found no escape from them anywhere. Just when I was thinking of hiding in the toilet. Nanami! I saw Nanami walking away from me down the hallway to the first year students' classrooms. She was walking back to class alone, it looked like. I realized I hadn't talked to her since the incident. I'd been avoiding her for the past week. I mean, I'd have no idea what to say when I met her. I was a terrible brother. I'd chosen to save my life instead of saving hers. It was nothing more than a miracle that Nanami had been released. I'd done nothing at all. Maybe Shogun had told Nanami it was my fault when she'd been kidnapped. If so, she'd definitely be mad at me. She might hate me now and not want to speak with me at all. I didn't have the courage to go talk to her. But after I'd happened to see her, I started to get worried, even though it was way too late for that shit. Had they done anything to her? Had they hurt her? Was she okay mentally? Thanks! For a moment, the memories of that hand had come back to me, but I shook my head. The severed hand, the bangle on the wrist, the phone.
They were all a delusion, a very realistic delusion. I knew this for a fact. Oh, also, Yua has the fucking same hair as that nigga from Nozomi. They have the same hair color. I'm just saying. Because the hand had disappeared from my fridge. Instead of assuming it had disappeared, it was more natural to assume it had never been there in the first place. Especially since Nanami was alive and here at school. I started to run after her without realizing what I was doing, and she was getting closer. Nanami hadn't noticed me yet. As she walked, she played with her hair with her right hand. I went to call out to her. As she played with her hair, the sleeve around her right hand fell back a little. I gulped back my words. I stopped. I'd seen something. It was something small, almost unnoticeable, but something white, wrapped, place so that it wouldn't stand out. A bandage on her right wrist.
Bon arrived at Frisia 30 minutes after the time Momose asked him to be there. Bon! You're late! Momose yelled at him as soon as he arrived. Bon shrugged and gave her a half-hearted smile as he walked over to her desk. He hadn't brought her any sweets today, a decision he was beginning to regret. Oh, where's Sua? Okay, I did off working on his own today. So you're slacking off while the kid does all the work, huh? No, I'm working too, you know. I was up all night doing research, I'll have you know. I've learned a whole lot about what teenage girls are up to these days. And I'm immediately back home. So, if I'm here, that means you managed to make contact with the kid? They're here now. That's my Momo-chan. Is she cute? Nigga, why are you at? Yeah, slap the shit out of him. Momose gave this grinning Bon a slap on the head. He put her wrist into it too, and it hurt pretty bad. Grow up, you old fucking pervert. It was a joke, okay? Bon had asked Momose for a favor. He'd wanted to talk to somebody involved in the Nugent cases directly, and had asked Frisia to make that happen. His questions were, for the moment, not going to be directly linked to the police investigation. He couldn't talk to her in official capacity, at least, without somehow getting the rest of the team involved. Who is it gonna be? Momose headed for the corner of the office, motioning for Bon to follow her. I think I know who it's gonna be. There was a small space there, surrounded by shelves lined with files. There was a meeting room for talking with clients. There were 2 sofas, each with room for 2 people, and both far too big to be for the cramped little area. When Bon followed Momose inside, alright, it's a third-year girl. It's not Senna. Her shoulders were slumped, and she was looking down. She looked exhausted. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Oh, who could have fucking guessed? It's a third-year girl, and it's not Senna Aoi. Ah, wow. The girl looked up into... It's my goat. Yeah! Looked up in surprise as Momose spoke. Her glasses slid on her nose a little, forcing her to push them back into her place with her fingers. Oh, no, I'm fine. She looked a little scared as she bowed shallowly to Bon. He was kind of hurt by this. Bon always tried his hardest to come off as unthreatening. He realized, though, that he must be still giving off the intimidating air of a professional police officer, though. It's something he would have to keep working on, he realized. I'm gonna sit on my bed. Yua Kusunoki, correct? Which proves that she wasn't working with the police. She genuinely cares about Takumi. She probably didn't think he had a connection to Nugent before she found the spike. So she probably did grow to actually care for him slightly in that short time they spent together before she found the spike, and then afterwards and then after she found the spike, she was, she was planning to kill him, but then came to the conclusion that he has early 2000s depiction of DID. And so she does actually care about him and believes he's sick and wasn't working with the police, as noted by the fact that she doesn't know who the fuck Bond is. Meaning, how the fuck did they not track down Takumi, and why did Nope? And if they're supposed to be watching over his base and he's a leading suspect, how the fuck is he still free? This shit makes no fucking sense. How is he still free? He was on national television. Why the fuck hasn't he been arrested yet? They had niggas at his house. He walked back to his house. You said you pop niggas? You don't pop niggas. You say you fight niggas? You don't fight niggas. You say keep people watching his house. There's nobody at his fucking apartment. You're the twin sister of Mia the deceased. She's dead? Oh. I mean, being dead doesn't really mean shit in this world. I highly doubt that she's actually dead. Because, plot point, plot twist, and all that. But golly, he put that one on a little strong. Mia the deceased, is that right? You have flinched a little before nodding. Dude, So that's why she reacted so viscerally to believing Takumi was the new Gen Killer. Wait, but I thought those kids didn't go to Suime. Did her sister not get into Suime, or does everything link back to Suime, even from the first group dive? Because I thought those kids didn't go to Suime Academy. Was it just like her sister didn't get in? Either way, that's why she reacted so viscerally. That's why she wanted to kill him with her own two hands. Because her sister was one of the ones in the group died. I thought she just had like a sense of justice, that as a D sword user, she was just like, kind of like Kozue, kind of like Kozupi. She was just like, as a D sword user, if you're doing fuckery, I gotta take you out this world. But even if that's true, it's more because her sister was one of the jumpers. I'm sorry, do you know how traumatizing it must have been for her to see the video be released, on top of the fact that her sister is dead? I'm not here to interrogate you, we're just having a little chat. Before I get to the point, can I ask you something? Please be about Takumi. What are your thoughts about your sister's death? Bon, you can't expect her to. Sorry, it's just part of my job. Tact is one of the first things you lose as a police officer. I'm just curious, the task force down at the station was talking about it too. They said Mia Kusunoki's family was unusual. Yeah? She's pissed. No, it's fine. Momose had almost leapt out of her chair at Bon's rude question, but Yua herself stopped her. I think it's strange myself. The 5 kids who died in the group dive had absolutely no reason to commit suicide. Their family and friends all said the same thing. With the release of the video, but Mia's family was the sole exception. Bond took his fan out of his belt and began to wave it at his face. They didn't say a thing, didn't make any kind of fuss. They were so quiet about it that it was strange, everyone said. Why do you think that was the case? Ever since Mia died, Mom and Dad have been weird. There was a pain in her voice. At first, on the day they heard Mia had died, they cried. Mom and Dad looked like they were in a lot of pain. But the next morning, for some reason, they were happy and smiling. They were exactly back to how they'd been before Mia died. It only took a single day. I didn't understand. I thought that maybe the two of them were just trying to forget her. And then Dad was smiling and he said, I don't even have a sister. When I showed them her clothes and shoes, it didn't faze them at all. They said they were all just extras they bought for me. And then they started turning off news and ignoring the police. They're trying to forget that Mia ever existed. Or, it all ties back to Nozomi and the bullshit that they're doing. So they're going to pretend you weren't twins? And that's why they started chasing out the police and telling them they only had one daughter. Mia and I were identical twins. We were impossible to tell apart. But my parents hated her. She would always hide away her own feelings and put me first. As Yua talked, she remembered her old life. For example, one year when she was in elementary school, her parents had bought a present, a giant stuffed bear. Yua was excited, but Mia said she didn't like stuffed animals and ignored it. Her parents had disliked how Mia refused to act like a little child should. Still, Yua had quietly offered to share the stuffed animal with her, but Mia had refused. I don't need a stuffed animal. You can have it, was all she'd said. A month or so later, though, when Yua had gotten tired of the stuffed animals, she'd woken up late at night to see something surprising. Mia was holding the stuffed bear and talking to it, with such a happy look on her face. Yua had never seen her sister look so happy. It was only then that Yua realized her sister was lying about not wanting the bear. She'd been lying so her sister could have it all to herself. The next day, Yua looked under Mia's pillow and found a cute picture of the bear she'd drawn. Mia had been sleeping within her arms until Yua got tired of the stuffed animal. Things like that had happened over and over again for the past 18 years. It was always Yua who blew out the candles on the birthday cake. Mia would say, "That's stupid, I'm not doing it," and her parents would get angry. Yua had made it into Sweet May Academy, a private school, but Mia had deliberately behaved badly in class, lowering her grades to make sure she got sent to a public one. Parents hadn't the money to send both of them to private schools. No matter what Yua had tried to do for Mia, Mia would always put her sister first, even if it meant making other people hate her. In the end, I took advantage of Mia's kindness and had all the fun while she suffered. Only after she was gone did I realize there was more I could have done for her. And I really regret it. I wish I could have died in her place. And then, not only that, parents are trying to forget about her. It's not fair. It's just too sad. That was all the talking she could do. She took off her glasses and put her hands over her eyes as she began to cry. Momose sat next to her, kindly patting her on the back.
それでゆあちゃんは
So, Yua's been investing the case on her own, she says,
みやちゃんに一体
to
何
find out what exactly happened to
知る
Mia.
ためにね
That must have been difficult.
そして
She's found a
一
name.
人の人物を突き止めた
Huh? Momose looked over to Bond, still holding Yua close.
西条匠くんよ
Takumi Nishijo. See. Bond stroked the stubble on his chin and leaned forward. I hear from one of the local detectives that there was a teenage girl who was running after Nishijo one day. Was that you? She nodded at him apologetically. Interesting. I'd like to hear. I was going to say I'd like to hear more of it. Give me a fucking second. Okay. God dang. Bond chuckled and bobbed his head at Yua and Momose. He'd been cut off by the sound of his phone ringing from within his suit pocket. He quickly took it out to look at the LCD screen. It was showing Sua's name. Hello, what is it? It's happened! The 7th murder! What the fuck? Sua's voice was tense. Bond could hear the sound of other police officers frantically running around him. From the sound of it, Sua was at the station. The 7th Nugent case! Ugh, fuck. Bond's eyes went wide. I'm sorry, but that is... I've been reading Alpha and Omega by Azazel 0508, and eyes went wide is repeated so many fucking times in that fanfic. And then he bit his lip bitterly. Momose and Yua could tell by his demeanor that something had happened and were looking at him worried. 3 victims, all friends. All of them had their bodies torn. Their top and bottom halves were switched with one another, sewn together with a monofilament, flashing fishing wire basically. There were Q, D, and N. D. Some kind of message? It's too early to say. There's something else too. The autopsy found something. The bodies weren't cut in half with a saw or a knife or anything with a blade. What do you mean? The coroner says they were ripped apart by some kind of incredible force. Ripped apart? Bond repeated that to himself as his head scratched roughly with the hilt of the fan. Like by some kind of giant monster, or maybe one of those mages that everyone seems to be talking about these days. Are you serious? I'm a big movie buff, but I can't even get behind with you on that one. Nigga, take this more seriously! It's called an example, you fucking idiot. Now, get back to work. He hung up on the phone. So I guess we don't get to hear more about Takumi from fucking Yua. I love her so much. I love Yua so much. She is one of my favorite characters so far. And it's kind of like, no, she has Noelle Holiday syndrome in the fact that she is really important to the story, but hasn't gotten to do jack fuck for a big chunk of this. Because she was in chapter 1, and then she was fucking gone until the night with the porter. Was there a porter? Yeah, there was a porter, but that was when Asuna went to the park. But when Takumi went to the park, and then he met up with Ayase. And that was the first time Yua shows up in like fucking several hours. And then she doesn't do shit until now. Yua doesn't get to do a lot. Or she doesn't get a lot of active screen time, but she is so important. She has Noelle Holiday syndrome, but I love her. She's still like my favorite character out of all of them. And that whole thing with her sister, damn, just, it hurts. It really does. By the time I was ready to go home with Remy after class, a pale orange color was settling over the sky.
ごめんね。
I'm sorry. Rimi had been silent until then, but suddenly she apologized.
たく、
You
いろいろ
had a really rough time, right, Taku? It was the first time in a while we'd gone home together. I was so happy she'd come back. She'd offer to go home with me today again for one day. We'd only gone home together twice now, so I was afraid she might want to stop, but that didn't happen.
一緒にいてあげられなくて
I'm sorry I couldn't be with you.
知り合いが例の地震で
Somebody I knew
怪我しちゃって
got hurt in that earthquake.
ずっと面倒見てたから
I was taking care of them. Rimi brought up the subject even though I hadn't asked.
うん
Okay. But to be honest, I wasn't even hearing most of what she was saying. That bandage I'd seen on Nanami's wrist at lunch, I couldn't get it out of my mind.
もしかして
Are you mad?
怒ってる
I'd missed my chance to talk to her then. Well, no, I'd gotten scared. Nanami was my little sister. I was her big brother. But something felt so strange. The nurse had said Nanami wasn't hurt. The hand that Shogun had sent me had disappeared from the fridge in the base. It was all supposed to be a delusion. So why would she have a bandage around her right hand? Maybe I was just overthinking things, and she'd gotten burnt or had a nasty bug bite. That had to be it. Right? That was the most sensible answer. Right? But I was still afraid of finding out. Especially since he can create errors without doing it intentionally. Without doing it intentionally. I hadn't been able to help her. But here I was, too gloomy to even talk to her. I was really an awful big brother. I'm an awful big brother. Hey, Taku. Yo.
もし
Yo.
怒ってるなら
If you're mad, then say so. Being ignored kind of
結構傷つい
hurts.
ちゃうな
Huh? I looked at Rimi. She was sad.
あえ
Oh, what?
もしかして
Were you not listening to me?
私の話
I hesitated a moment before nodding. She poked a finger in my cheek and pushed.
石
Fuck! I thought you were ignoring me.
紛らわしい
Don't confuse me like that. Ow, her nail is just digging into my skin.
大丈夫
Are you okay? Rimi whispered, finally pulling back her hand. Yeah, that was always what she said when she was worried about me. Rimi has come a long way, and there is so much about her that we still don't know. She's the angel that kissed Takumi and killed him in the beginning. But that is framed as a end of the story. We'll get back to that. The rest of the story is, well, this is me. Now you're wondering how I got here. She is the angel that kisses Takumi despite him not recognizing her. She is the girl who's there when he witnesses the third Nugent murder. And, you know, it's like, she probably fucking did it, considering she was covered in blood. She was talking with Shogun. But even despite all of these things, despite talking with Shogun and saying that she'll kill Takumi for him, being one of, if not the Nugent murderer, she also cares for him. Maybe it's all just an act. But in that dream he had about her, she asked, is it right for her to want to live in this world? Because, yeah, I still remember that. And so it feels like she really does care about him. Just like Yua. It's just that, and I still fully believe that Yua cares about Takumi and will eventually be like, maybe you're not the Nugent murderer. I still believe that she just believes that he's a sick man and hates him, but wants him to be better so that he doesn't keep killing niggas. But Yua here, not Yua. Have I been saying Yua this whole time talking about Rimi? It's late. But Rimi here is just so odd. Because just like Yua, she has a lot going on. Senna and Kozupi and Ayase all have a laissez-faire attitude when it comes to Nishijo. They don't hate him. They don't have any alternate motives for him. If he's there, they interact with him, but they're not exactly close to him. Yua and Rimi have both put themselves into positions to get closer to Takumi because of the stuff going on with Nuche, adjacent to their motives regarding Nuche. Whereas Yua believes that he's the killer, and Rimi probably is not a real person and has to be near Takumi for whatever fucking reason. Who knows? Maybe because Shogun is a part of Takumi, she's a delusion in and of herself. Or the formulation of humanity's wishes or Takumi's wishes, but not a thing, that's a delusion. Kind of like Nyx. You've been kind of pale since lunchtime. You seem kind of down today. Was somebody mean to you? If so, tell me. I'll go get mad at them. Come on, this is what girlfriends are supposed to do. You're just my friend. She was like a big sister, or my mom. Rimi could be pretty nosy. Well, she'd have to be. She could care about a weird-ass nigga like me. I appreciated the fact that she was worried about me. Until now, whenever I had a problem, my only options were to keep it to myself or write an anonymous post on fucking 4chan, which you don't want to do. I don't care if it's Japanese, it's basically 4chan. And like, @chan is just 8chan or 2chan. I mean, it could be 2chan, but I'm more towards it being 8chan because and 8, and also 8chan is like evil as shit because it had child porn on it before, child sexual explicit material before, child sexually abusive material on it before it, died, where the website was fucking Kennedy. Yeah, don't talk about your feelings on 4chan. Quagmire, don't get married. Joe, I wasn't going to. Maybe I should ask her about Nanami. But when I'd asked her about the D-Sword, she hadn't believed me at all. She reacted just like any sensible person would, except she has a D-Sword. If I told her, she'd either laugh it off or be freaked the fuck out. If that was the case, it'd be a waste of time to try. All I needed from Rimi was for her to be by my side. I could ask Kozupi or Senna for help with this problem instead. I'm sorry. I was just about to say, she's coming home with, I'm still mad at this guy Takumi. I'm still pissed with him. My room is fucking a horrible mess right now. But we're not going to talk about that because as soon as I finish playing this, you know what I'm going to do before I go to sleep? Start cleaning more. You know what this nigga Takumi hasn't done? Okay, in universe, Takumi isn't bad looking. Like, an issue that a lot of neat shut-in hikikomori characters have is that in universe they're not bad looking, like to us, but also in the context of the universe. Kind of like how in universe Deku is average looking. In universe, Takumi is not a bad looking guy.
Lying my ass off, that nigga ugly as shit.
And I'm not saying like, oh, he has Rimi coming over and they're gonna fuck. But like, even as a common courtesy for people in general and for his mental state and for just being clean, he should clean his fucking room so it's not moldy and that his porn isn't everywhere. Now add into the equation He's a high schooler, and Remy is of the opposite sex, and he really should be cleaning his room and not leaving his porn out. His figurines, fine. All my figurines are on top of my desk, with the exception of this one. And this one, which I haven't put together yet. But like all Takumi has to do is fucking clean it. Is clean. Alright? Maybe if he had fucking cleaned his room, you wouldn't think he was the one murdering people. Okay? I'm sure that she would drop a relationship with him, and I say that not in the romantic way. I mean just like a literal relationship. I'm pretty sure that she would drop I'll just say friendship. She'd drop a friendship or connection of any kind with him as soon as she finds out he's not related to the death of her sister. But still, maybe if he had cleaned his room and not picked up a fucking murder weapon, that the police wouldn't think that he was the murderer. If he had left the damn weapon there and maybe described Remy instead of just saying the demon girl, you know? I mean, Remy isn't human, probably. I like to err on the side of caution because I thought that Kasumi from Persona 5 Royal wouldn't be a real person, and then she was a real person. She just had other stuff going on. So I'm erring on the whole side of if Remy is real, Israel, then there's something going on with her, but she probably isn't a real person and probably is like a glitch in the Matrix. So knowing that and knowing that she has a D source, she probably could have made police capture. But still, maybe if he fucking cleaned his room and didn't bring a murder weapon in here, maybe we wouldn't be making jokes about the fact that he has soda cans and mold. And mold! Mold! Remy whispered in exasperation as she stepped inside the base, especially since a lot of people who are shut-ins are also not shut-ins because they're ugly. Like there are some people who are shut-ins because they feel ostracized from society due to how they look, but a lot of people are shut-ins because they just find it hard to take that step to go back into society. And I understand. It's hard. I mean, I was never fucking shut in, but I can understand why it would be hard to try and go back to a world that you feel would reject you for running away from it in the first place. I've covered 10 minutes of content in 35. I need to stop fucking talking to the damn camera. But despite her complaints, she seemed happy, so I couldn't really tell what she was thinking. Maybe that it's funny that you're a lame-ass nigga who still hasn't cleaned up his porn. This place hasn't changed at all. You're the only one who I know who keeps their room this messy. If it's that bad, then you... Fucking... I ought to backhand this nigga right now. Hey, are you turning on your computer the minute you walk in the door? You've got a friend over. Why don't you offer her something to drink or something? Bread or buns? Come on, let's chat. I don't remember what I did last time, but no, fuck. Remy asked me for the impossible as she sat down on my sofa. If I tried to have a one-on-one chat with a real girl, I'd run out of things to discuss almost instantly. Lately, I'd had more chances to talk to Remy and had started getting used to talk to her, but I still wouldn't last even 5 minutes. And right now, my head was full of thoughts of Nanami, and I didn't feel like having a cheerful conversation. I'm sure it would feel like I was ignoring her. I sat down in my chair feeling like a pathetic loser. Okay, we're gonna go with green so that she can get on top of him or some shit. I don't know, I'm just feeling like choosing the horny option today. And then getting mad for... Oh, shit. See, look. I'm already getting irritated. I heard her breathe in a sensual way. I'm already getting mad. Her shirt's off. I already knew her shirt was gonna come off. I told you, don't ignore me.
Look at this ugly ass nigga.
You know, maybe my expectations were too low. Maybe they were. Also, we're gonna ignore Seta. We're not even gonna talk about that. We're not gonna think about it. But this nigga looks like he's really been through it, which he has. There's a gentle scent like flowers. I could feel her. Never mind, fuck you.
寂しいよ
It makes me feel lonely when you do that. Evidently, I'd created an illusion to help me escape from the reality in front of me. The thought made me feel more and more empty and miserable than excited. I didn't think I'd be able to enjoy this one at all. So instead, I decided to be honest. So they say things I wouldn't be able to say in real
僕
life.
だって
I was
寂しかった
lonely too.
辛かったんだ
It hurt when you didn't call me for a
こ
whole
の1
week.
週間全然連絡くれなくて
I could feel her body's movements directly on my back. Her chest was moving up and down softly with each breath. It made me realize the obvious, that she was a real living being. Yeah,
ごめん
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't be with
一緒にい
you.
てあげられなくてごめん
Rimi's arms got tighter around me.
私の中でも
There was still so much uncertainty inside me. I didn't know what
ど
to
うしたらい
do,
いか
so I decided to take some time to think.
ちょっと考えてみようと思って
Huh? Uncertainty? What was she talking about?
そもそも私
I needed to think about whether it was okay for me to be with you, whether it was okay to let things stay as they are now. But I can tell you, it can't stay like this. That won't help save anyone.
あの
Um,
ねえタク
listen, Taku. At first, I only made one wish.
一つだけだった
Okay, this nigga might actually be ugly as shit.
なのにどうして
So, why do I keep wishing for more and more things?
際限なく望み続けちゃうんだろうね
This is like way too. Hold
あ
on.
の空を見つけた時
When I found that sky, I didn't know what Rimi was saying. I had no idea how to answer. There was only silence. I could hear the faint sound of her breathing against my ears. This delusion should have ended already, but the silence remained. Nothing happened. Did that mean this wasn't a delusion? When I realized that it wasn't, my whole body suddenly went tense. Rimi was holding me tight in the real world. She was right up next to me. I could feel my mind threatening to lose control. Felt like if I pushed her... Oh, come on, nigga! Double jet. Help me. I gulped. You've got mail, fucking Nick. I've got mail. Whoa, what was that?
何
Remy moved away from me, surprised. A soft sensation disappeared. I am so surprised that wasn't a delusion. Okay, two things. A, that wasn't a delusion, and delusions have also been popping up without the fucking Epstein, the flashes. So things are deteriorating in his brain, right? We obviously knew that. Two, at first I only made that one wish. Her wish, which was in his dream about her, which is evidently not a dream, where she says that is it so selfish for her to want to live? And now she found that sky, because that sky, was where she was at. The same sky that Ayase was trying to go through, that she was going to go through in her head, until she fucking jumped. She was gonna go into that sky, in quotes, and she was gonna land and fucking die. But he saved her by 3. This nigga's gotta be ugly. I'm sorry, but this nigga is so fucking ugly. 4. That's probably just his stress making him look like that, plus the inconsistency of the art style. It's like how Nanami, when she looks straight at the camera, she looks so odd. 5. Then she keeps making wishes. She's learning what it's like to be human. She keeps making wishes. She keeps having things she wants to do. She wants to live. A complicated mix of emotions appeared within me. Half relief, half disappointment. Wait a sec. Rimi had just heard my Sedaton email voice. I opened my email program and saw 3 messages from Grimm telling me to get my ass in the chat room. I realized that I hadn't chatted with Grimm in a while. We used to talk all the time, but since I'd been staying off of ESO, we hadn't talked for about 10 days. Rimi? What about Rimi? Hey, no, you need to say I can't talk right now. I've got... Oh. What's wrong? Rimi must have noticed my surprise because she stood up and came next to me. Fuck! That keeps happening. Murder, 7th murder. How long was this going to keep happening? Would the one next be one where they finally got me? Taku, you don't need to worry about it. There's nothing to be afraid of. They're not after you, Taku. Why do you think I'm worried they're after me? Oh, he probably told her. Whatever. Everything you're feeling, it's just a paranoid delusion, okay? You're talking way too much like you know how I feel. She was trying to cheer me up, but he probably overshared a lot with her, and I just like don't remember it, or it happened in between scenes, because he has told her a lot of stuff that we didn't see on camera just for the sake of brevity. Anyway, had Grimm gotten a job at the New Gen advertising division or something? He was constantly telling me about them whenever one happened. Once again, he posted a bunch of links to news sites. Don't click on them shits. Don't click on them shits, dude. You remember what happened the first time you clicked? DQN puzzle. Which, you know, he says DQN. So, like, 4:50 a.m. The 4 bodies of 3 men. Hold on. At 4:50 a.m. on the 4th, the bodies of 3 men were found hanging from the transmission tower along the train tracks in Shibuya Ward, Tokyo. Also, you know, this, before we even get further into this, of course, this is a superpower murder mystery, because if it wasn't, do you know how horribly incompetent the police would have to be? Anyways, the bodies belong to 3 Shibuya residents, a college student named Saburo Anzawa, a part-time worker. Work! Ryo Takagi, and Kohei Fujita, who was unemployed. Unemployed. A police investigation revealed that all 3 of the bodies had been severed at the waist, and the cut did not appear to be made cleanly as if by a blade. The lower and upper halves of the deceased were attached to different bodies. D, Q, and N from the killer. At-chan. And 7th in the New Generation Madness. Uses the board. DQN. Puzzle. There we go. These are probably the 3 niggas who Kozue beat the fuck up after they jumped Takumi, and then Shogun did something about them. Either for failing to fuck with him, or a new gen. Whose eyes are those? DQN, this isn't new gen. 920. You're saying that we DQN hating at-channers are behind it? The way they ripped apart the bodies? That fake psychic Nishicho will tell you who's behind. They won't let this nigga rest. That's also, that anonymous nigga is Misumi. I don't care what anybody else says. That's Misumi right there. But I forgot what I was. Yeah, but either A, Takumi is Shogun, like actually Takumi is Shogun on the inside, and the times that he had a dissociation and acted as Shogun were mind control rather than the two of them being the one and the same. And so Shogun did this to them. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Either Shogun did this, or Takumi is Shogun and Takumi did this to get back at them. And that's why he's able to make errors without a D-sword, because he already has it unlocked in him, just in the other personality, and Yua was right about him having early 2000s DID. Also, it's very stupid that that guy would say that it's not new gen when, like, only new gen is doing shit this weird, this crazy. I mean, pregnant men, James from Pokemon being crucified, the fucking green skin nigga, Takumi's fucking doctor having his brain smushed in and shit. These are all, like, only the new gen serial killer would do something this gruesome and weird. Or killers. Hey, it's this pretty lady again. At approximately 4:50 a.m. today, a delivery man... Oh, it's definitely those niggas that beat the shit out of Takumi. Now the question is, did Takumi, Shogun, Rimi, or Kozue do this? But it doesn't seem like Kozue would do this. It seems like her rage is kind of controlled. A police investigation revealed that the bodies... Yeah, whatever. All three other bodies, yeah. Strange, distinctive injuries were found on the... Yeah. Shibuya has... Yeah. We already know all these things. The last video I saw showed the faces of the 3 murdered men. I recognize their faces. It's them. You know them? They mugged me yesterday. I gave them my wallet, but they still attacked me anyway. I passed out when I woke up. Kozue was there. The 3 of them were covered in blood. I took my wallet out of my pocket and stared at it. When I'd woken up, Kozue was holding my wallet, and she'd given it back to me. Could she be the one who... She looks so done. I'm sorry, but this lady looks so tired. She looks so fucking done with everything. No, that wasn't right. When I'd seen them last, their faces were smashed up and they were covered in blood, but they certainly weren't sliced in half. They'd been killed after Kozue and I had left. It had to be Shogun. He was taunting me. He was trying to destroy my mind. I felt like it was about to throw up. My stomach was racked with pain. I put my hands against it hard to try and make it go away. Would I be next? Would I be the next one to... Would the next one finally be the one where I was killed? Better get your D-sword, nigga. That's all for today. A hand reached out from behind me and flicked the switch on the monitor. The screen went black. Calm down. You don't need to worry about it. So that's why Sedaton said something, because it's like Mario. How could Rimi be so calm? There was no way this could all just be a coincidence. Anyway, I'm hungry. There's a place I like. Why don't we go get dinner there? It's nice and cheap and the food is good too, I guarantee it. Never fucking mind. Oh, you're about to die, nigga. You're about to die and she's gonna get molested right in front of you. You need to run. Oh, and we have to go inside the station. It's inside. Dude, come on, man. You're just setting me the fuck up. This bitch! This is like worse than PNB Rock's girlfriend putting his location on her Instagram. Bitch, you are going to get me fucking killed or arrested. This is mad. You looking mad federal right now, my nigga. You jacking me. My heart, on my heart, you jacking me right now. You acting mad federal. You spicy as hell, my dear. You creaming me. Dinner, huh? And a movie. I didn't feel like eating at all. Felt like there was a knife at my throat. It feels like there's a knife in my throat because I spent 4 fucking hours screaming today. Like somebody was saying they could kill me at any time. Please just leave me alone. What did I ever do to you? I'm just so tired of this all.